It's seeding time, January 3rd, and it's pretty foggy out today, but check it out. The seeding times have began for the year. It's an amazing time. My baby, what are you working on there, darling? Chard. Beautiful. Biochard. Amazing times. So my darling's working on the chard. You're also going to be doing the lettuces. What are the ones? Oh.
Some aromatic, some flowers, corn.
Oh, baby. Oh, lots of seedings to be done today. She's got a pot of her starter mix here. I've got a pot of my starter mix here. This is a mix of coconut fiber, torba. The white in there is perlita that helps hold the moisture. We've also got some of the river stones in here to kind of help pack it out with drainage, and some potting mix. I think is the main bulk of it is actually a potting starting soil. Super, super nice stuff. There's also some roots, some twigs, a couple of leaves, all of those things from where it's been used before. And I got my little trays here of the other trays that we don't really use for our starter fruiting seeds anymore. These little plastic ones, they don't do so well, and a load of toilet rolls. Because I'm putting acacia in here for the bees because they need some more food. Okay, there's the acacia done. They'll be nice and happy inside of here. We cover it with some cling film, helps them stop drying out. These guys are pretty tough, so they're not going to be getting any heat or any lights. They're just pretty much going to be left like this. But we're not leaving them outside because we haven't had our proper winter yet. It seems to be really late. We're still expecting a lot of snow and frost. So we're going to take them up, put them by the window in the bedroom. That's going to do them just fine. These are the acacia, if I can reach it. They come in little pods like this. I just cut them from one of the trees that I found down that way. They get ready around about December time, I notice. And if you can see, these little pods just start to split open. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There we are. They come off in tiny little pods like this, and when they just start to crack open, they're pretty much ready. If I can just get my nail in here. There we are. And they just pop open, and you get tiny little beans inside. So all I've done is just popped a couple of them inside the soil here, and they should be quite happy. And for one of my experiments I'm doing this year, peaches! Now we've been told several times by many, many people that peaches will not grow where we are. We're at about 800 meters, 750 meters altitude up in the hills. It's too cold for them here. So this probably isn't going to work, but hey, I like to try my little experiments. Now these peaches I collected last year, 2021, and they have been washed and dried several times, and they've then been left for a good 3 months maybe, to try and make sure that they're completely dried out and clean, and they're looking pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop these guys inside of these pots. Now peaches need stratification. Stratification is the process where they get super, super cold for a period of time, and that basically activates the seeds. Without that, they won't germinate. So they have to be out and get nice and cold and frozen. And as I mentioned, the freeze has not hit here yet, so these guys are going to be staying outside. Just like my little lemons, which people also said would not survive here. They're not looking happy because they have been out and they've got frozen, but they're also not completely dead. So we'll see if they come back when the spring lightens up as well. And we'll also see if my peaches survive and germinate. Normally you stratify peaches by putting them into a bag and keeping them in the freezer for a few months, but since we were approaching the winter time anyway, I wanted to try and do it the natural way. So I'm laying these guys down sideways because I can't quite remember which end the sprout's supposed to come out and which end the root comes out. So we'll lay them sideways. And then these guys are just going to go out into the exposure and we'll let nature do her thing. Which probably means they're going to die. Alright, first batch of seeding of the new year all taken care of. Man, we got a fair old few things popped into here. Let me show you guys about it. We've got thyme. This is Bocca di Leone, is actually snapdragon in English, and another thyme. Now again, a lot of these we've got like 10 tray here, 10 tray here, but the thyme seeds are super teeny and they like to bush out, so we've just scattered a load inside of there. We'll see how it goes. This is all chives in here, which I think is 10, 20, 30, 40 tray, but again, we'll see how much comes up. These are Tigete, which is actually marigold. If my camera will go back to focus, please. Thank you, camera. Good job. I do enjoy doing this on a phone. These marigolds are a fantastic companion crop to going along with our tomatoes that'll be going in this year. Attract a lot of good bugs. They're super handy. We've got some wild fennel, which is... I can't even pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. Some chrysanthemum, another fantastic support plant. These are some perennial bushes that we've got. The English name is the same as the Italian name. This is Melancina Maiona. Biancospino is, I think it's hawthorn in English, but I'll have to double check that and pop it up on the screen. And then behind these guys, we got another 40 tray here of chard, which is super nice to get going. Down under the bottom floor, we've got Nastruzzo, which again, I believe the English term for it was very similar to that word. Man, camera does not like to focus inside this greenhouse. Another support flower, really good for keeping away aphid, those guys, if I remember right. This is a special type of pepper that's grown in Sicily, a frigitello. But it's a little green pepper, grows really long and thin. Never seen it before, excited to check it out. 2 more trays of wild celery, but again, we'll see how many come out of them. If I pop this guy out of the way and aside, on the top here, we've got our red onion and our red onion, and underneath these are our lettuce. We've got some frizzy lettuce, 4-season lettuce, and I can't remember what the other one is. It's all 4-season. All lettuces down there. It's time to get our salad on. Now, as you can see, they're sat on a little heat mat. This raises the temperature of the base of these polystyrenes, which these work really great. We've tried a few of like the little multi-pack of the like little 6-pack of plant pots that you get from the garden centers and such. They really didn't do well, but these polystyrene really help keep the heat in, especially for what we're doing here, which is germinating. Let me pop these guys back here in a way that I'm not gonna knock off their plastic cover, because that's gonna help keep their moisture inside, so we're not gonna have to water them quite as often, but we do need to air them out every once in a while to make sure that we're not getting mold inside. So these are all gonna sit on the heat mats. Raises up the temperature a little bit. They're stacked on top of each other because at the minute the seeds are not going to need any light because they're not even out the soil yet. They just stay in here until they've germinated. With the heat mats in here, even though it's January, we're at, well, like 17, 18 degrees there, and I've had the door open for a minute. So we're between 15 and 20 degrees, which is spot on perfect for warming these guys up. Once they sprout up and they break the surface, we've got this greenhouse set up. A little 4-shelf one, and this one is connected to a very nice little light system. So once they sprout, they can come in here and they can get some light. And we can also cycle out the types of light which are here to encourage root growth or leaf growth, all of those amazing things. Once they're in here and they're looking a little bit bigger and they're feeling a little bit better, we've got this one, not quite set up yet. We need to get the shelves out. It's got a plastic covering to go over it, and it's also got a shade cloth because we're going to be using this one in the summer too, just in case. But the sun actually rises just over the top of that hill. So it gets some morning sun here, but it is actually completely covered. So it's protected from the heat of the midday sun quite well. Once they get bigger and stronger from being inside of there, out into the garden they go, or out into our big greenhouse, which I have yet to set up. So there you go, guys. That's the things that we have started seeding this year in 2022, and this is the little greenhouse setup that we're going to give it a shot with this year. Hopefully all this stuff is going to survive and thrive and make it out to the garden. Be sure to follow and to subscribe to be able to see what else we get up to this year and how much of this stuff actually makes it out into the garden and how much fruit it yields. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I'll see you all again in the next one. Thanks again, everybody. See you all again soon.